Previously on Balls.
Well, I got to tell you, Disi's going to do the intro, and then I'll give my 5 cents as well. But it is, of course, time for Disi's Double Ds, and my, do we have something special for you.
Woo! Today on Disi's Double Ds, we are fortunate to be in the company of a legend, a man who was born in Pretoria, South Africa, who has the gift of the gab and has entertained us for so many years. It's the one and only Casper de Vries.
Hi there.
I'm still busy. Casper has not only had us in stitches of laughter over the years, but has been a regular on our TVs and is now also a big talent in the art world.
Oh, and he's big.
Hi, Casper. Welcome to Gears on Ball Special Radio. We're so excited to have you here today.
Are you now finished?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. I just want to correct you on one fact. I got the gift from the gab, but I've lost the gift and I can't find the gab.
Kak.
I promise you.
Kak.
I promise you. I don't know what language you're speaking there.
Casper, what's that?
Dis 'n groot voël.
This is a fucking parrot.
But it's not applicable. Yeah, I'm gonna actually I'm gonna reprint the t-shirts. I have big t-shirts like that. And
No way, really?
yeah, and it's still very popular on YouTube. That parrot, the
Learning Channel.
Learning Channel sketch. So I'm gonna reprint those t-shirts. Yeah.
Well, I got to tell you, unfortunately, Ian's not here. But we actually start our show at 12 o'clock every day with, "Hello, Yuval." So it stayed with us. It has stayed with
Hello,
us.
you well? Okay.
It stayed with us forever.
I love that. It's very nice to hear. I am honored.
It's great to have you here. I mean, listen, you're going to do like a little, what do they call it, a doodle?
I'm going to make a doodle for you, especially. I've got it.
There we go. My, thank God it's not a chalkboard. That would have hurt. That would have hurt. Casper, I mean, you have been working for like 30 years now. It's quite nearly 30 years.
I have been working very hard for 30 years, especially, I think, concentrating on one-man shows. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, I have done TV and I've done movies and stuff, but the one-man shows took preference. And I have decided I have got a midlife crisis, and now it's time to do something else, because it's one life you get, eh? You
Exactly.
don't get more. You get one. And then, typical midlife crisis, you go and sit down and you think, now have I done everything I want to do with my life? And then you go, nah, ek wil nog dit doen, or I want to do that. If you got that urge, I'm telling you, do it. Don't be like the old bullies who just get a bit, what do you call that in English?
Say it in Afrikaans.
Randy.
Ah.
And then they, all of a sudden, divorced their poor wife of 93 years and then gaan uit met 'n klein Paris Hilton from Welcome. You know, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you find, I want to bake, and I'm sitting here doing accounts, then go bake. So I thought I have done everything I could with the one-man show, or I've covered all the topics.
Yeah.
I've told everyone that there's no God and I'm gay, so what more can I tell you? And then I thought, no. I want to splash color on canvas. And I started doing it, and it's like something that was waiting to happen in my veins.
But
some DNA from some ancestor, and I enjoy it immensely. It's really not a gimmick.
is it something new for you though, completely? Or when you were younger, did you paint? Did you draw? Yeah. Was it something you did at school?
It's a lot of factors, but I think one should, as a person, and I think it's a good lesson, keep in mind and look at what your brain tells you to do, whether it's whatever. So if you're a racing car driver and you find you like knitting, do it. No one will laugh at you. And so it just, I wanted to do it. As a young child, I drew a little bit. I remember some sketches, but it was like 2 weeks of my life. But now, like Melinda is also here. She told me at university we studied together. We used to doodle. I can't remember that anymore.
Really?
No. So this is now really taking it seriously, and I'm taking, it's like all of a sudden opening your mind up to the art world, to the artists, to the styles, without losing your natural talent. I don't want to become technical and say, okay, no, this is not good, because it must be guts that talk. And then through my new line, over the years, I'll build some experience, and I will know, okay, maybe we need a little bit of blue there or red there.
Okay.
But it's all happening from the gut.
Okay, now, earlier on, I mean, thanks for the support of balls and the tweets that you've sent out as well.
It is my pleasure.
So we've got a couple of people. For example, Leon wants to know, what type of paint or water oil does Casper use and why?
I use Chardonnay. I find it sits nice on the canvas, especially if you vomit it on the canvas after, because it's got to go through a process. It's got to go through a process. No, I don't use watercolor yet. I've still got to experiment with that.
Okay.
I started with oil and got a headache and missed 2 days of my life. I woke up and I missed 2 days. And now I'm on acrylic paint, which is perfect for me right now.
All right.
Because you paint, you go into the sun, you stand a few minutes and it dries up and you can go on. With oil, you have to wait a week. You paint one thing and then you... Wait a week.
Now we're going to talk about this exhibition that you're going that's going to take place. But what are your pictures? Big pictures? I mean,
they've. At the moment it fluctuates from small, like this, very little of them. Very little of them are
see,
small.
that to me is world class. That's about the most I could ever do with a.
What I did now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can sell this for $1 million in America.
Yeah.
If you're a name. So, George Clooney did this. Oh, I want it!
Amazing. Well, now we've got Casper de Vries
exactly.
to this. That'd be worth more.
I'm not finished.
No.
And you are not wanted, you are tooted.
Yeah, she's and she's double tit as well.
We mean it in a nice way, not in a chauvinistic pig way, eh?
We could never do that.
So are you not doing any more comedy stuff, or are you still involved there?
Oh, for sure. A lot of things I couldn't do now, I can get time for between my painting. So I am going to enter the movie market. I've got a lot of movies, like a Woody Allen, but just a bit more stupid than Woody Allen. I'm not that clever, but I want to make a lot of movies about a lot of topics in a lot of genres.
Okay.
A little Casper musical, a Casper thriller, a Casper drama. So once a year, if there's anyone out there listening who's got lots of money, I'll make a movie for you every year. And then you can sort of say, all the Casper de Vries movies are mine. Not a lot, a couple of million. So
well, I was just, I was going to sit there and say, I mean, it's just such a wonderful idea. And I mean, the topics that you've covered over the years, because, people sit there and go, Casper de Vries, gee, that's funny, this funny. But there's also a very serious side to Casper de Vries.
There's a message in a way.
Yes,
but not
of course.
Too serious. But you know why people come back to me or watch a sketch over and over is because of that message that's in there, and they don't necessarily know it or see it immediately, but it draws them to come again and again. You don't get satisfied after just one viewing, which I think is great.
And surely there's got to be some investment bankers, financiers, those kind of things. But the arts, as we know, and I mean, Casper, you'll know it because it's been your whole life, is one of tremendous passion in this country, and hopefully, you make a living and you can pay the bills at the end of the month. We've never really had anybody who's just sat there and did 2 movies and became a multi-gazillionaire and said, well, this is lovely, we're having a great time.
I think our only success story at the moment would be someone like Schuster, and then maybe who's that big producer now, and I've forgotten his name.
Anand Singh.
Yeah, but so hopefully we will get more support, because I can tell you now, a lot of young, new generation waiting who can do fabulous editing, who can do a music video on a par with overseas, who can now do shorts and a movie if they've got enough money. They've got the know-how and the new approach. The stuff so far, what I've seen, there hasn't been a South African movie yet for me where I go, this is absolutely on a par with the world. But the talent is there. We need the money people to come and not make another Bula in Sissa or that nonsense.
Do you think, Casper, that maybe some of our filmographers, producers, writers over here are trying too hard, trying to make sure that everything's so wonderfully politically correct and that we don't offend anybody, and then it's a question of, oh, the hero must be a little black boy or an Indian boy or a colored boy because that'll appease and make everybody happy.
I haven't got a problem with that, but now it becomes formula.
Yeah.
So you have your little Indian boy in every bloody movie laughing in a certain way, and that is now because it works. We do that. That is not creative. That is not art. That is just trying to make money. And those movies will disappear, and there will be no legacy left and nothing. So it's a waste of time. But the producers, I've dealt with a lot of them. They are lazy bastards. So what you know what they said up to now, and I hope that will change. It must be like Schuster. It must be like Schuster. You can't be like Schuster. Schuster is Schuster.
Correct.
Let him do his nonsense, his fantastic movies. But, with elephant dung being flown into an old lady's face and all that, let him do that. But nice, mature comedy, Monty Python kind of comedy, people don't want to do it. They shy away. They skrik, they moersie.
Why are they so scared?
Because in South Africa...
Is it because people don't get it?
They're scared people won't get it. But that's the old South Africa. The free South Africa started in 1994. And I can tell you, it's time now. We can now... There were 2 movies so far I saw which were nearly there.
Yeah.
The one was Tsotsi. And the other one was Skoonheid.
Okay, I haven't seen Skoonheid. I have seen Tsotsi.
Skoonheid is like an Afrikaans movie. It will blow you away. You can't believe. I mean, it's a very somber topic, but handled with maturity. I was so proud to watch that and say, at last an Afrikaans movie I don't have to be shy about, because the rest are all formula, and these musicals are all based on goody kind of stuff, or overseas stuff, or Mamma Mia, or High School the Musical.
Yeah.
They all try and emulate something because that will make money. They haven't got the guts to... And I have the guts, producer listening to me right now with millions of rands. I have the guts, and that's what that's what I want to do now. After all my one-man show, I touched all these topics, and I've touched them on sketches on television and a bit on my show as well, and a bit of sketching on the video screen. But now to make a movie about one thing, about death, a movie about gayness in Afrikaans family, all obviously laced with my humor, but addressing those specific things and not be shy about those movies, because I think our new future as well as digital, which will be in our favor.
Well, I think, all of these topics that you're talking about and the movies that you're really aspiring to actually go and make, they are all topics that you have, as you mentioned, you've touched.
Yeah.
How did things change for you from when you started in the 80s doing your stand-up routine and comedy sketches? Once everything changed and we became this newish South Africa, did you find people maybe being reserved against you, or did you have to change your material so as to try and be a little bit more accommodating?
I change. We all change. We all evolve, and we learn things and define our philosophies as life goes on. So, but when I started, I was hockey's liberal in the eyes of my audience, because my only audiences then were Afrikaans people.
Yeah.
Because the only language I could play around with very comfortably and creatively was Afrikaans. And then that was before, that was in the state of emergency, that was in the, and so my stuff was very political as well, because you could not ignore or negate political stuff before 1994. So after 1994, when South Africa became free, the spotlight changed. I was so relieved, because then I could address topics which I always wanted to do but were not able because of the South African situation, and that is universal topics. Things I can talk about 1997, 1996, it's still on DVD and still popular because it's about evolution or the Homo erectus or the state of the world or the universe, and those things remain the same for a couple of million years, you see. And so that is my love, to talk about that and bring a certain knowledge to people that they can go mull about in their beds, and maybe that's why I say they come back
For it.
I must see it again. It's also quick, they say. I must see it again. That's a good sign.
Did you ever encounter, or do you encounter perhaps sometimes of your stalwart Afrikaans people who came to your shows or whatever, and saw all of a sudden you were more liberal than their thinking? Did you ever find like an opposition from them who actually went, but you know, Casper, you know, you are an Afrikaner and you should be thinking in the Afrikaner kind of way, and you know, try and change Casper de Vries to become them?
Absolutely. At the beginning, the big issue was, when I just started, was the swear words. And I had a whole philosophy about a backstory about swear words and why I use them, because it's just sounds. And I explained in one of my sketches how swear words came about, and that kak means how in Russian. I heard the other night at the Winter Olympics, they were discussing with Putin or someone something, and so they had to translate. And then when... Oh, no, it was the Pussy Riot. It was on Jon Stewart's show, and they were translating for him. And he said, "How did you get to be in jail or whatever?" And the translator went, "Kak, kak." And then she said, "Kak a lot, kak a lot." So that is how. So I try to use that as an expression, an explanation, example to the old generation, that time, 1990, pre-94, that is a swear word. We made it ourselves. It didn't come down from some god, and now we can't use. We made it. We created swear words, and now we can't use them because we made it ourselves. It's quite strange. But I do understand that you can't swear somewhere anywhere.
Yeah.
But swear words aren't wrong, and you aren't stupid when you use them. So that's what I try to bring across. But now, sorry to make a long answer even longer, you asked me about my generation. So after that, the new South Africa, the free South Africa, obviously things change, and I also changed about certain things as I got to travel more and meet more people and so forth. And a lot of those Afrikaans, especially people, but not Afrikaans, how do you call it? The white Afrikaans-speaking people. Yes. I want to say I don't meet a lot of so-called colored conservatives, but it's more the whites. They did not expect the new South Africa. They were not used to that. They don't go out and meet people and so they haven't changed. And to them, I then just slowly but surely started to warn them. I did. Don't come to my shows anymore. I'm not your fucking fool to make jokes which you can laugh at. That's not what I'm doing. So, I really hammered on gay rights, on what atheists are, and how we in South Africa are actually wonderful people. Don't always claw about everything. There are things going on, but don't just kneel and huil about those things, and then always track it oor die wit line, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So if you want to blow up a red FL to show you are against violence, then it's against violence for everyone.
Exactly.
Not just our poor whites, you know?
100%. 100%.
Nonsense. So I actually explicitly tell them to go away.
Yeah.
I don't want, if I end up with one audience member, I'll be absolutely happy. The sold out shows I've had in my life was a privilege. That's why I started doing English stand-up last year, because after the Comedy Central roast and a few appearances at Comedy Central, a lot, and the Mass Hysteria tour, a lot of English-speaking people from all creeds and kinds came to me and said, won't you do your stuff in English more? And that's why I did that. And now I feel much freer. And please, burn me a candle on Monday, because on Monday we might hear if I can get a run in London for a couple of weeks.
Wow.
On the West End, but small theatre, where they will then record a DVD of my last show, Casper Goes Khaki, which has not been recorded yet. And I just thought London is the perfect venue.
There we go. And that's a mix of English Afrikaans.
Just English.
Just English. Now,
Just English.
Now, Casper, the one thing, I mean, for those who don't know Afrikaans, Afrikaans is one of the most descriptive, beautifully descriptive languages that I know.
And those descriptive words were thought out by the right side. What I mean with the right is left side, so the correct side of Afrikaans culture. We are a lot of fantastic people as well.
Sure.
And we can play with words, and in the Cape, especially the play with Afrikaans, there is fantastic and creative. But then you got your right wing side, who are the ones that say you can't use that word, but it is such a beautiful. I mean, a word like "cuck" is so nice.
Exactly.
Eh?
It just works.
Yes, I even use it. I even use it in English when I do the English show, and I go "cack," and I explain it to them.
But how now the transformation of going from an Afrikaans show where you do have these beautifully descriptive sayings, never mind just words in Afrikaans.
Yeah, and playing with
how have you got it right in English? I mean, that must have been quite difficult.
That was my challenge. I like to be challenged. I don't want to be bored. So I found, amongst other things, why I've stopped with the one-man shows is I'm getting tired. When the show starts, I'm already tired. So I'm getting old and bored because I've done it now. I've done the whole thing.
Yeah.
In the English shows, it's a new challenge for me, because now I can try and find humor within my knowledge of the English language. So last year, you'll be surprised how quickly I started playing with words in English. Not translating it. Some things you can't translate. So you just don't go there in your show, in your English show. So I like that, but I'm really still burnt out a bit. But I would really love to do that English khaki show and then really rest with the one-man shows for a couple of years. But look, I'm all into comedy, still into TV series, still into a lot of things comedic-wise. But my painting is really very important to me now, all of a sudden. And it's not a gimmick. I'm not trying to be now all of a sudden serious. I am not stopping with my shows because I am in any way influenced or threatened by the right-wing Afrikaners who have in the past couple of years...
Threatened you?
Oh,
I mean, it's ridiculous.
But terribly. You know, like your mother should have killed you by lying on you, and you're a pig, and I want to... This is the best one. I thought, how cruel they really are, is I wish I could see a video of you in hell burning and having pain.
Oh my goodness.
I
mean, it's just ludicrous.
Just read a fucking Harry Potter novel.
Exactly. Lighten up a little.
Get over yourself. Yeah.
Now listen, I know you're doodling furiously over there.
Yeah, I'm doing a masterpiece here, Sasha.
It is. I can see.
I want to know more about your art now.
Yes, let's move on to a little bit of the art.
Is it also like along the comedy side of things, or is it more serious?
I think comedy will enter into it, but at the moment I let my brain go on autopilot, and the things I paint at the moment are things I love, and things that come automatically out of my gut. Most of those automatic stuff are abstract, but abstract is not just a little child playing with crayons like I'm doing now. Where is it, mommy?
This is mooi.
Yeah, it's not that. You really have to decide, I mean, what you see, express that on canvas, and add your own little touches to make the colors work. Otherwise, it's just going to be a concoction.
Now tell us about this exhibition, because clearly you've been doing a whole lot of paintings, and now you want to showcase them to the whole country, which I think is fabulous.
Yeah, I'm very excited about it. You feel it in your gut always. I felt it in my gut. I wanted to do solo shows, and I did it. I felt in my gut I want to show my paintings now. I'm not shy about it. I'm paid at a ratio of 2 paintings a day nearly. I've got a lot. So if I don't exhibit and don't know whether people will like it as well, then I will never know. And I am not shy to show it. I'm not shy to show it. I'm just shy that you must know it. And that is why I'm doing the first exhibition now at Emperor's Palace. It opens next Friday, and I'll be there with my 2 lovely dogs, who unfortunately couldn't come today.
Yes, I mean, much to the delight of our producer Scotty, because the last time you had the dogs in his studio, they peed all over the floor.
Oh, Scotty, I'm so sorry.
But yes, you have this love for dogs. So okay, so we're going to Carnival City.
No, we're not.
Emperor's Palace.
Emperor's Palace. No. My apologies. My
no
apologies.
Problem.
So
Emperor's Palace is much posher.
Much posher. And not as far.
And it is every day from 3 o'clock in the afternoon till 9 o'clock at night. I'm sitting there with my dogs, and you can come have a chat with me.
Wonderful.
You can take a picture with me. You can even buy a painting, because if you don't, I won't let you go.
And then we can't make a movie.
So it's a chain reaction the butterfly effect, people. And I'm the little butterfly and you're my flower. So I want to see you there. And you can come speak to me. I'm very friendly. I'm not. Some people have this idea that I'm grumpy. I'm not. I just, if someone...
You just vocalize what you feel.
Exactly. And I try and show people how they are, because they don't know it. So if someone goes, "Hi, Kortgat, come here," then I just answer it in the same way and say, "Listen, you, yes, the abortion on Crocs. I'll be there just now." Because that's how it feels to me.
Exactly.
So I just repay that.
Casper, and then are you going to take this nationally?
Yes.
Okay.
Then I'm going to go to Cape Town, to Artscape. I love Cape Town very much.
Wonderful.
And that'll be in April. Totally new paintings, because I'm telling you, I'm painting like a maniac. So there will be lots of new paintings in Cape Town. A lot of paintings I painted at the sea the last time I was there, and then even Bloemfontein, because I think the poor people are so left out, because it's always big tours and Bruce Springsteen.
Exactly.
And then Bloemfontein sit there and they've got to go and look at Smokey at the rugby stadium. Oh, dit is weer Smokey, maar ek Smokey. Nou maar, probeer. And so I'm going to go for them also with new paintings, things I think they will like.
Casper, that's terrific. I mean, we'll give all of those details. We'll post them up as well. Yeah, and we'll definitely try and promote it.
So if it works, I will exhibit more.
Yeah, fantastic.
And I think it's going to work. I'm nearly finished here with my painting.
No, that's fine. I've got a couple other questions. We move a little bit away from painting again.
You can.
And this one comes: what does Casper Rasper look up to? Or who does he look up to? And what do you find very funny?
Is that a question from our listeners?
It is a question from on the tweet face over here.
Okay, so it's listener viewers, hey?
Yes.
Hello. Sorry, I didn't actually look up a lot, because we got viewers as well.
Yes.
Hello, viewers. I'll be finished with this now.
And we've got Disi Simon, who's busy watching us and listening to you live from Mali in West Africa. How cool is that, eh?
How do you say hello in Mali?
Hello, Mali.
Hello, Molly. Oh.
So who do you, Casper? What do you find very funny? I mean, is there anything maybe you've been watching on TV? Is there a comedian somewhere in South Africa, around the world, that you sit and say, "Wow, this is Casper's cup of tea"?
The true, honest, professional comedian is the first one to give compliments to another one.
Correct.
There's no jealousy. We're friends. The jealous ones are the amateurs or the ones that can't make it. So, yes, there's a lot of people I look up to. I am extremely proud of the standard of comedy in South Africa. It's gone in leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
It was a bit strange at the beginning, but now we're on a par with the rest of the world, with most of them.
Not everyone can be perfect. Not everyone can be right up there like a Casper de Vries.
No. Well, some are better than I am. But I saw, where I realized this was a couple of years ago, I was in London. I drove past the Royal Albert Hall, and I saw it's one of those touring comedy tours from South Africa. You know, where you got like 8 comedians. And I said, okay, let me go. And I bought my tickets, and I went to sit down with no preconceived ideas. And, well, I expected the worst, and I got the best. I laughed. Tears were rolling, not because it was South African, because it was good.
The content was good.
It was brilliant. Brilliant. So I look up to a lot of people here and overseas who... There's a guy in England called Eddie Izzard.
Oh, I love him.
Yeah, and we sort of started at the same... I started a little bit before him.
Okay.
So I got to know first his videos, no DVDs yet, and then I saw we very much think the same thing, because I also talk about history and he loves to do that as well. And I've seen him live in New York, and there's a whole story there. I don't want to tell that and bore you, because I'm not trying to impress. So
no, but he's a wonderful guy.
He's a fantastic guy. And then, of course, Robin Williams, mad as he is a genius in his mind. I don't know what the hell he does, but he just gets these things out at the right time.
Yeah.
I can't do that. I can't always be on. And we know he's not on drugs, because he was... Well, maybe he had some baking powder the other year because he went back into rehab, eh? So he is clean. It's a normal mind. John Vlismus, Nick Rabinowitz, Tumi, all these people in local South Africa, I love them. I really do. And one of my quests now is to work with them more.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
I must say, I think Nick Rabinowitz and Vlismus are right up there. Couple more questions while you finish your picture.
Yeah.
This one I wrote it down here, and somebody's Monique's posted a question that is very similar to mine. What makes you really mad? Has there been a time where you just said, "I'm full, that's enough"? Besides now, because you're going through your midlife crisis, you want to paint. But has there ever been a time where you just said, "You know what, I've actually had enough"? What really upsets Casper de Vries?
Well, I think incompetence is a thing that can make me angry.
Mm-hmm.
And incompetence, usually due to a lack of decent training, it can be solved like this. If you just have a good trainer and just tell people this and don't do that, and we will get much more fluent service. I find that especially with government, that it's just they need 2 weeks away in the bush with a trainer, and our country will run so much better.
So true.
Makes me angry.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you're going to be gripped to the TV with the State of the Nation address this evening as well, then.
Oh, my God. Do we have one as well?
Yeah. Sorry. Okay. Well, there we go. All right. You and I'll be watching reruns of Eddie Izzard, I'm sure. I'm sure that's where it is.
No, I know we got a State of the Nation, but again, that's copied from America.
Yeah. Let's see your magical master. Are you finished with it yet?
Yes.
Here we go.
So what I want to explain, it is the studio here.
Yes.
And then a little bit of the double D.
Yes, I knew it was that. I was going to say it's the double D.
Well done, Disi!
And it's
beautiful.
I'm gonna,
You've got to sign it for us, please, at the back. This is an original.
It's an original. You can sell it for a
And
lot
it's
of
mine,
money.
Daisy. It's not yours.
No,
mine.
it's mutual. How
No,
dare you
half,
claim?
But
half.
it's her extremity.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Well, you could have done mine, but they're not. Yeah, they are growing. They are growing. I can tell you.
Well, you know what I can do next time? I can do your balls because that's
No, there we go. And I'm a blow biller.
Okay, blow us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, thank you. I love it.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for that. That is something very special. Casper, I tell you, we could chat all afternoon. It's
How
so
long have we chat now?
yeah. It's so wonderful to have you here.
Thank you.
I must say, I'm looking forward to coming to see this art exhibition, which will be at the Emperor's Palace.
Yes.
Only one and only Emperor's Palace.
There's the Palace of Dreams. Isn't
Now
that what
remember,
it is?
it's
Yeah.
not a show.
No.
I don't want to. But let's speak to the dumbest person out there. It's not a show.
Okay, I'm just trying to see which one of our audience is that. It's so and so, and I won't
learned my
mention it.
song. Can you see where I learned my sang language?
Yes, I saw. Oh, yes. Yeah. Also, learned so much over there.
So it's not a show. I'm there from 3 to 9. And then you can meet me and talk to me.
Oh,
But
wonderful.
it is in the theatre where I used to perform. That's like a deep, subtle handover from Casper the comedian to Casper the artist. It's in the theatre. All the chairs are gone. The paintings are in its place, and I'm mulling around there with my dogs.
With the dogs.
Who won't pee. I'm so sorry. The dogs actually haven't peed anywhere.
Yes, Scotty.
After that one.
The
place.
one time.
Where was that? It wasn't here.
I think it was a jacaranda.
Jacker.
Yeah, it was
No,
a
but that's
jack.
because
Well, that explains everything, actually.
they listened. I played them a bit of Jacaranda in the car, and they immediately went and shat on the carpet.
Casper, and listen, we really hope that on Monday we'll find
I'm
out.
still alive.
No, we'll also find out that there's really good news regarding the West End.
I'm going to tweet you.
Yes, please do.
Burn a candle Monday. I'm going to tweet you. We have reached 2 stages already. Because,
Wonderful.
you know those Brits POMs are very official and meticulous. So 2 rounds.
2 rounds down.
I've passed for them. You see, because then they're going to bring me. I don't have to pay for that.
Wonderful.
And so that'll be fantastic.
Well, listen, we're holding thumbs for that. We wish you well with this exhibition. I'm sure it's going to be a tremendous success. Those who are going to be afforded the opportunity to spend some time with you and have a chat to you, I think are thoroughly going to enjoy the experience. We've loved having you here on Balls, and we'll definitely get you back here again soon.
I will. I'll come with a bigger canvas.
Excellent. What a great idea. Casper de Vries, thank you.
Sasha, thanks, Di.
Thank you so
much.
Weekdays from 12 to 2 p.m. Central African Time.
Beautiful.
Gears with Sasha Martinengo on balls.co.za.